Super Earth, our home. Prosperity, liberty, and democracy. Our way of life. But it doesn't come free. It is every man, woman, and child's duty to protect our home, our culture, and our families. Why not make the most important decision of your life? Make the safety of your family a personal responsibility, and prove that you have the strength and courage to be free. Join the Helldivers. Travel the galaxy, visit the capitals, meet unusual people, and represent the Federation. Secure the resources we need to preserve our way of life and create a future for Super Earth. Spread managed democracy throughout the galaxy. Become more than you are. Become a hero. Become a legend.
Firing for effect. Over. Yes.
Whoa, what is up, everybody? Welcome back. It is Saturday. We are here with the next episode of the Helldivers Strategy and Gameplay Tutorial. I am Shinobi13, your host. Thanks for being with us here. So, today we're going to do things a bit differently than we did last video. Spoiler, last video we did not do any gameplay. We just covered the bridge and all of its parts, how they all work with some visuals, because I wanted to explain that a bit better for new players. Because in the first video we did, it was just kind of an info dump, and I think it would have confused some of the newer people. So wanted to clarify that, but now that that's done, this episode is going to focus on all the enemy species. We're basically going to show you the level 3 difficulty, because everything levels 1 through 3 will be below that, and level 3 will give us a bit more action so people can actually see what's going on with the game. So let's switch over here. Oh, actually, I did want to show one thing first. Before we get into gameplay, I created this difficulty chart for the newer players so they could actually see how it breaks down for easy, medium, hard, very hard, and insanely hard levels. Everything's kind of grouped in threes, and then below that you also have the general order of all the enemy types on there, and that's for each species. The heavy soldiers and generals, there's going to be a little variation with depending on what you're playing, as far as, what you categorize as a heavy soldier or a heavy armored soldier versus a general. So I just, kind of put that in there as a general guideline for those levels. But hopefully this helps. If you have any questions or concerns on this, again, feel free to hit me up at shinobi13gaming@gmail.com. Again, that is shinobi13gaming@gmail.com, and I will have that posted at the end of the video as well if need be. So, with that being said, we are going to switch over here and get into the actual gameplay mode. Alright, there we go. I'm thumbnailed up in the corner. There's my avatar. He's looking like he's doing good today. Alright, here we go. So again, real quick, Galactic Campaign at the top. Your hell pods are to the left and the right of that.
Roger that.
You've got your armory over to the left, down and to the right of that, multiplayer, and then your encyclopedia. Just real quick recap from last one. So here we go. Right now, and actually want to show new players something. So here's our map. And again, all the gold spaces are where Earth is occupied. And if you look in the sector that has the bugs, we are on their homeworld. And we have a lot of influence in that system. So hopefully this weekend we will be able to take over the entire sector. And that'll just leave us with the cyborgs and the Illuminates to finish off. And we're already about mid-range with them right now. So we're going to jump right into the bug homeworld. And this has a level 3 on it, but it doesn't have a level 2 or a 1. It's partly why we're doing the video format like this week. So, pretty standard setup for any planet, except when you're in the home region, it's only this one. It's just one planet per home region. And then it has 5 missions with different difficulty levels. You start off with low, which as you can see is a level 3, and then you work your way all the way up to level 15, the inner circle of hell difficulty, with a very high enemy presence. But you also have a level 9, level 6, level 12, so it basically breaks it down as we saw on the chart in those categories of 3 and gives it to you at the very top. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, those are the levels that you're going to face whenever you're doing something like a homeworld, or if you are doing a I'm drawing a blank here. If you're doing a defense for one of Super Earth's planets, like if one of our capital cities gets invaded and you decide to go there in a regular region and defend them, this is also the same structure as that, if you've seen that before. So, getting right into it, we're going to do the low enemy presence, and this one's going to be super easy. It only has 3 capture the flag areas. As far as strategy goes for this type of objective, you have a minute and a half that you have to keep enemies from being within a set space around a flag, and it's got a little post and everything for it. And then once you've completed that minute and a half, then you win and you go on to the next one. So we're literally doing 3 of those. And most crew to stations. Most of the defense, excuse me, mask up. Most of the defense and capture missions that you have to do, they are always set at a minute and a half. So you want to be prepared for that. For new players, heads up, with your drop zone, it's going to start you off in the middle of your map. You want to go towards the edge. You want to go as far away as possible from your objectives. A lot of people, they want to jump right down close to something. You can, but you will always put yourself in a position where you have to fight immediately from the get-go. You will get swarmed, because right around the objectives, you're going to find more patrols for any enemy species that you have. So I always like to go up and to the side, somewhere that's down in like a pocket where I have some sort of area to block me off from patrols. As you can see up here, we got this little almost V shape, and we're going to tuck right behind that. So boom. Let's see, stratagem priority. That's going to be my perk that I use. A lot of new players are not going to have those. You're going to, unless you get it with all the DLC, which again, I strongly recommend. Spend a little bit of extra money and get all the DLC at once. Don't spend more money in the long run buying it piecemeal. A lot of people will start off with laser aim module, the auto injector, cardio, heavy armor, or incendiary grenades. Those are some of the first ones that you get. I like to run stratagem priority, just my preference. I'm not going to show gameplay as if I were totally starting this game new, because, well, I like to play to my strategy, and I want to show you guys some awesome stuff here. We are going to switch things up a bit. So, as far as capturing in defense areas, there's a few things that are really good. Stasis fields, or the static field conductors, MK3. Anything that has MK1, 2, or 3 on your stratagems, that just indicates what level it's been upgraded to. MK3 is the highest you can go, and it's indicated with the 2 chevrons in the bottom right of whichever stratagem that you choose. So I'm going to bring 2 sets of sticky fields. That's just the nickname, or sticky traps, but for static fields, I'm going to bring 2 of those, because those last for a bit, and they will slow enemies down tremendously from getting into my area. And I'm going to bring the AMG-2 minigun turret, also fully upgraded, because that is something that a lot of beginning players do use, and I like to move around with my jump pack, so I'm going to bring that as well. So we're going to confirm the mission. While this is loading up, I'm going to pause. I will be back with you in a moment here. All right, loading is done. I am dropping in. Everything's looking good. I'm excited. Let's start off, as always, call on our stratagem. Check the area, pull up our map, and look to see if there are any patrols in the immediate area. We know we got some directly south. So to get that, I don't need to call anything else in because I'm using defense or support and offensive stratagems. So there's nothing else for me to care. There's some bugs. Take them out. Some right behind me. A little bit of spray and pray there. And we are going to bolt down to the first objective. And the more comfortable you get with this game, the less of this you will be doing. And by this, indicating what my character is doing, sneaking around, checking on corners, making sure there's nothing there, always checking your map. I try to lock the location into a general direction. Once I look at it, bolt over there, and just focus on patrol control. That's the biggest part of this game, patrol control. Now, we're at the capture the flag.
Defensive stratagem incoming.
And
Defensive equipment inbound.
we're just going to hold tight here. I haven't played with a turret in a while.
Defense drop incoming.
And as you can see, if there are bugs or any enemies in the area, it will say clear area at this bar, and then it will go back to saying capture it. There we go. Now, since I'm playing by myself, you can see that it gave me the auto reinforce, and that was just a super easy, effective strategy. Just use your turret to cover one side, or you could even play with 2 or 3 turrets and just cover all sides for something like this. One thing to note with Super Earth. One thing to note with turrets, though, is that like any other ordnance or weaponry in the game, it does involve friendly fire, and your turrets will take you and your teammates out real quick. So if you're going to play with a turret, one of the best strategies I can recommend for solo play is to play back to the turret. You want to be on the turret 6, basically, or have the turret on your 6. That way you're basically spinning in a circle with it and guarding, and also being on offense at the same time, really. That's a pretty effective strategy for newer players, especially when you get into retaliatory strikes as well.
Defensive equipment.
All right, so I looked at my map. I see up a bit to the northwest. We got trolls coming in, so even though I'm captured, or already captured it, check your map out before you throw some things down, and see if you can get a general idea where your enemies are. Also, one thing to note for newer players, even though my stratagems look like this, I'm basically using, 2 stasis fields and a turret. I really don't have a lot of firepower for myself in this game. I'm a veteran player, and I have about 300 hours clocked in this game at this point, so I'm a bit more confident in my skills than I was when I first started off, obviously. So, depending on your play style, you may be more comfortable using more heavy ordnance right from the get-go. My trident is pretty solid at taking out patrols, so I'm confident with the stasis fields in my trident and throwing a turret down. You see, I didn't even need to that time, that I can get all this stuff done. So it's really about your comfort level with gameplay. Here's a note. That's a sample. That's what they look like. It's a little hard to see in this level because there's a lot of orange, red, and gold already, but these are the glowing gold samples. And I know I'm thumbnailed over it, but basically when you collect a sample, it comes up in the top left. And I'll show you again real quick. It'll come up in the top left, it'll say your avatar name, and it'll have a times number next to that beaker symbol to show how many you've collected. So, zoomed out on the map, we can see all the objectives that were white are now gray because they have been completed, and the extract objective is the only one that is left. You can also see it in the top right-hand corner too, when you pull up your map. And then it'll leave it up there for a second so you can see everything else you need to complete. So that's standard for any level that you're on. Ooh, a sample. Technically, at this point, I don't even need any more samples for this game. I literally have everything upgraded at this point. So I just don't need them anymore. And we got a few patrols around here. We're going to sneak in. We're not going to sneak in effectively, apparently. But, you know, this game would not be exciting if it gave you everything for free. No game would be exciting if it did that.
Extraction confirmed. Shuttle inbound. ETA T minus 1 minute 30
So,
seconds.
just like a lot of other missions in this game, you can see shuttle arriving. It started off as a minute and 30 seconds. That's the countdown until they actually get there with the extract vehicle. And until then, you just have to hold your own on the extract. Which means
Defensive assets.
patrol control. Again, I cannot stress that enough in this game.
T minus 1 minute. Defensive equipment inbound.
Alright, we're actually going to get some turrets out here. Or one turret, because I can only call one at a time. And the reason being is because I only have one turret loaded up. Of course, you can load multiple things. As you can see with sticky traps, you can always put multiples on it. So I'm going to go down here. Stasis field is back.
Deploying defensive
Another
minus
stasis
30
field.
seconds. Defensive equipment inbound.
Now, this is an incredibly effective strategy with stasis fields. It's either to put them right next to, so that, as you can see, the circle
Seconds.
is on the edge here, or put it right on top so that any type of turret you use is directly in the middle of the stasis field.
Minus 5 seconds.
I'll show you why. These things have a health bar. Look how much just got taken off from one errant shot from my trident. So if other enemies come up and destroy it, you're out of your turret all of a sudden. So if you can't protect it, it helps to throw something down on top of it that can.
Shuttle leaving T minus 10 seconds. Deploying defensive assets.
And as you can see, it's all protected there. Now I'm going to jump on so we can leave. We made the extract. If you don't make the extract mark, it doesn't fail the mission for you. You have to go back down to the call shuttle option and then call the shuttle back in. So you can always get out of dodge if you are stuck in the extract point and you are getting swarmed, and the best thing you can do is retreat. So you can do that and always come back to it, like almost, well, not almost every other mission, but a lot of other missions will allow for that, unless there's an objective that gets destroyed. But we'll see that later on. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. So this is the results screen. Basically shows all your experience, whether you got a 1 through 3 star on it, your total time, and then it gives you your stats as far as experience gain, samples collected, deaths in it, your deaths, as if you died, your kills, which is the enemies you've destroyed, accidentals, which are, again, if you kill yourself or if you kill one of your teammates accidentally, such as with a call down or friendly fire, your number of shots fired, and then your accuracy rate. I don't care about the accuracy rate unless I'm using a pinpoint weapon, something with a spread like the shotgun that I use normally. That's 5 shots for every 1 enemy. I'm not concerned about accuracy. I'm concerned about patrol control. And just like any other homeworld event, or if you are fighting one of the defense missions for one of our capital cities, it will give you double experience for that one. So just bear that in mind. So that was a level 3 bug planet. That was pretty easy. We're only 20 minutes into this video, so we're going to back out of this. And we're actually going to go over to Illuminates. Show everybody those next. We're going to run a level 3 on Illuminates. So remember, level 3 is an easy difficulty. This is a desert planet similar to the last one. Little vegetation for these types of planets. As with the last one that we did was another desert semi-volcanic type almost. You don't need to use the all-terrain boots on these. Those are only for snow planets, really, if you have the DLC. So you can run anything else besides that for your perks. So we are going to run missions 1 and 2. Both of them are going to be very easy. We have a capture mission, and then we have a retrieve black box, which is basically you capture sensitive data. There's a little gray icon for a house on the map. You have to bring it to that house and drop it off. Think of that as a safe zone for things that are involved with Super Earth, such as information, and there will be survivor extractions in harder levels where you have to escort 4 people to this, basically this little house, and make sure they get there safe. So the next one, we have a retrieve power core. The retrieve ones are all basically the same concept. For the black box or the power core, you have to get object A to house B, basically, without getting killed. We also have a disarm unexploded ordnance option, which is going to be fun to show everybody. So we're going to jump into mission 1.
Hellport launch sequence initiated. Crew to stations. I
And
repeat,
again,
crew to stations.
I'm going to stay away from the objectives highlighted in white. I'm also going to stay away from the extract point in gray and the house down here where we have to take the black box. Even though this is not highlighted in white, it's still prone to have patrols around it because you are taking this straight down here. So we're going to go about mid-map up to the top here, and we're going to hide in this little cut. Actually, we're going to go back to the map real quick. I'm only going to bring 1 stasis field this time. And I'm going to bring a bit more firepower. I'm going to bring the Vindicator Bunker Buster Bomb, just so I have a little bit of oomph to throw at something if I need to.
Mission commencing.
Alright, while this is loading up, we're going to pause because this will take a moment, and I will be right back with you. Alright, dropping in now. Boom. This planet will probably be easier viewing on the eyes as well, for my loyal fan base out there. Thank you. Alright, there we go. I got my Lift 850. There we go. Now, Illuminates, I'm glad they came up. These are Illuminates. They are all cybernetic creatures. They have shields. They have electricity. They're easy to kill, but they can also be incredibly difficult when they start to team up. Now, the Illuminate samples, as you can see right down here, they look a little bit different from the bug and the cyborg ones. They're a little blue circle with 3 points on it in glowing gold, yellow coloration. So just bear that in mind. They look a little bit different, but other than that, they're still perfect samples. There you go. I might be able to see that one a little bit better. So basically, what we're going to do here, and I always recommend the strategy for, it doesn't matter what race or species that you're playing, and what map type. If you can hug the edges of any map, this whole side that I'm pointing at right now, you don't have to worry about that. Especially in areas like these. You have front, you have back. Now while that can pin you sometimes, and you don't want to fall off the edge here because you die, that's actually pretty good to have in the game. Because if you know one side is completely covered, you've got a mountain watching your back. Also recommend that for the extract points. One other thing to note, you can hear that little camera sound before a lot of the Illuminate patrols
Incoming.
actually come in. Now, note on those.
Equipment inbound.
Any of the invisible patrols, your turrets are not going to see. And these are the other types of Illuminate patrols. We saw one when we first dropped down. These are basically snipers. They don't sound off alarms like these guys do. They'll just run to a distance and try to hit you with a sniper laser. So the flying invisible ones, those are the absolute most important patrols to take out. Boom, boom, boom. Taking the shields down real quick and easy. Taking out the crab guys. Now, one thing about Illuminates is that laser weapons are incredibly effective against them. Just incredibly effective. Especially at close range. Or not, medium range even. But the laser weapons have a tendency to cut through their shields much quicker than anything else. And as any, added bonus when using any of the laser weapons, you use up ammo. There we go. Hear that sound? Sounds like a camera coming into focus. So you'll often hear the Illuminate patrols before you see them. Or you'll see that. And that charge right there at the end, that's when it actually fires. But these guys are one shot in the face. You can just run up on them. So they're easy to beat, but if they start to swarm you, dealing with 5 or 6 of them on a map when they start doing basically a crossfire of sniper beams, that's not super effective for living. For you. That is the point. We're going to drop a bunker buster. Didn't even hit him, but I just wanted to drop it. That's one of the better call-ins in this game because it's literally right.
Firing for effect. Over.
But like with anything in this game, you want to try to time it properly so you don't miss things like I just did. Alright, we are basically going to hug down the side here. Not particularly worried about collecting samples. Biggest thing that I want to do is just avoid patrols. So on my map you can see there's my house. Oh! Look at me, I'm not paying attention and I just got sniped. That's why you gotta watch out for those guys. If you're looking at your map or your call down list, you might get yourself killed. But I'm glad everybody saw that. That's what it looks like when you die in the game and when you get your auto reinforced. So as I was saying before, look, this go get you. Just come here, you. That's right. Disrespectful. Alright, here we go. So I gotta get straight down to this house. Basically what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna hug this corner and go right down this way. I'm not worried about the sniper patrols following me if they do, because they don't sound off for patrols. I'm just basically gonna hug this corner. And while it's not a direct beeline, we're still going south. Grab that sample, because most new players are going to be grabbing samples while they're doing this, so you got to drop your box and pick the sample up. Also, if you just hit your jump pack, it will automatically drop the box. So if you got to get out of dodge real quick, that's one of the perks of having a jump pack on. But you could also be using something like the displacement field as your perk, just as a note, and that would get you out of dodge if you were about to get sniped as well, and move you about approximately 6 Helldiver feet to one side. So this is the little gray house, and it'll have 2 platforms, one on each side. You run up, the door opens, it says drop off objective. That's regardless of the mission type. Gonna handgun him up real quick. Good thing about this is that you can fire off and you reload one-handed. Drop off the objective and you're good to go. And now all we have to do is run straight north and go up to the extract point. We're gonna pick a fight real quick though. Not with this guy. You know what? We'll just go to the extract point. And we'll pick a fight
Extraction confirmed.
while we're getting extracted.
ETA T-minus 1 minute 30 seconds.
Bunker Buster.
Engaging target area.
There we go. That's how to make things effective. Boom. Now, one thing about spread shotguns, strafe to the side, back and forth, forward and backwards to control power because it has a spread on it. Closer you get, but if you got to back up, you can back up. Boom. Try not to use my right joystick because I play with DS4 configuration too much, and just strafe, pivot as needed. But if you strafe across, forward and backward to control power, and to the side, you're going to cover much more area. You know what?
Engaging target area.
Oh, I accidentally killed myself. There's a good example of friendly fire, everyone. I did not intend to do that.
15 seconds. T-minus 10 seconds.
And we're going to get out of the way.
T-minus 5 seconds.
I didn't even use my turret in that part.
Defense drop.
I apologize. I should have used that a bit more. Here we go. This is why a turret is good in the extract point.
Shuttle leaving. T-minus 10 seconds. T-minus 5 seconds.
And we're going to leave a little goodbye present.
Engaging target area.
Just a note, if you do that, it's just fun and it's kind of a good way to end the game. You can always call in any heavy ordnance you have left over, but hold on to it until you get in the plane. It will drop it automatically, but as soon as you get on the plane, you are safe at that point, and you can't get killed by your own fire. So that was pretty sad. I died twice on a level 3. That hasn't happened in eons, but I'm glad people got to see what the auto-reinforced looks like. It basically just shoots a clone of you back down in your hell pod. I killed myself once with my own bomb, so at least a good example of what not to do with, your own ordnance. You don't want to get caught in friendly fire, because even as something as simple as the bunker buster, it's going to take you out in pretty close range. But other than that, 3-starred it, completed all the objectives, got the experience, so we are looking solid there. All right, we are back on this one, and you know what? We're not gonna do mission. Oh, you know what? We are gonna do mission 2 real quick. Yeah, we're gonna do mission 2.
Hellport launch sequence initiated. Crew to stations.
And since we have that one, you know what? I'm going for broke. Since it's a level 3, we're gonna drop right in here in the midst of everything. I'm gonna use my turret primarily down at the ordnance disposal site. And then at the extract, of course.
Commencing mission.
But we're going to work this same strategy, and I'm going to pause here while it's loading. I'll be right back. All right, we are back in. Just dropped down. I'm going to
Equipment on its way.
call in my backpack stratagem. Eye out for patrols while that's going on. Now, this guy, watch him. We're going to see if we can get him to come closer. A little bit closer still. There's a minefield right here. Boom. So there will be minefields that are set in the game, and as you can see, he just hit one, he died. But it will also kill you if you hit them. So watch out for them. And if you see it there we go. That's a bit easier. A little red triangle pointing down. That's the mine sign. Keep an eyeball out for those. But also, you can use them when you were running around the map, as I just did, to lead someone into them. That's particularly effective when you get swarmed and you just got to get out of dodge. Lead the enemies through a minefield if one's nearby. So we're going to haul tail up here, and we're just going to come piece this guy up for fun. And remember, those patrols are the ones you have to watch out for. And you'll hear... There goes another mine. Wow. Boom, took 2 out. You will hear them before you see them. It sounds like a camera lens almost coming into focus. And when you hear that sound, you know they're close by, so be on guard. Check my map. I'm not even going to worry about that guy. This one, on the other hand. Not going to lie, I'm not the greatest shot with the handgun. But there are one-handed weapons in this game, such as the Tonto and the Ninja submachine gun. The Tonto is a laser rifle. They're one-handed
Firing for effect.
to begin with, so the positive side to that is that when you have to carry something, you still get to use that weapon. You don't get stuck with your handgun. There are also perks such as the plasma rifle, the mini flamethrower, and what's the other one? There's like a magnum revolver, basically. Those are some of the other single-handed ones you can play with, and those come with your perks. Those can be super effective because if you have a secondary weapon, because here, that's my handgun. You always get your handgun, and it's pretty effective. But you know, it's like having a 9mm when you need a .45 caliber. The revolver gives you much higher power. Flamethrower, you know, obviously it's a mini flamethrower. And then it has a plasma handgun that is very effective against crowds as well. So if you like having a single-handed weapon, highly recommend checking those out. Again, some of those are DLC, so make sure you're picking up this game with the DLC right off the bat so you get the most out of gameplay. And you also get more time to perfect your style, too. Or a better chance to perfect it right from the get-go, might be more appropriate to say. So I'm going to put a turret
Drop incoming.
right there. That way the turret's back is covered by this wall. It can pivot this way, and I'm going to try to stay out of dodge from it. But I'm also going to put a sticky trap there to protect it. Now, as I've said in prior videos, your special stratagems are the gold-colored ones. I have my SOS, which comes with every mission, and this one is your metal detector. You need it for these areas that are chalked in for these white lines, because that is where the unexploded ordnance is going to be. So you pick up your metal detector, and just like you switch back to your weapon, it's just triangle or Y, depending on what type of control you're playing with. reload that and be smart. And you can also melee with the metal detector. Stuff jumps right in front of you. So, see that? That's what you're looking for. The best way to find those to start, spin around, and then once you hit it, just back and forth. It's got a long code. That's okay. Take your time putting it in, because if you don't, it will explode and it'll kill you. So you spin around, it'll cover all your area that you're in. Boom. You got a ping. There it is. Just like any metal detector if you've ever used one, but if not, that's the premise. Turret's looking out for me. Got that one. Now there's only going to be one more because this is a level 3. Throw another sticky trap down there.
Defensive equipment inbound.
And they will sneak these things right along the edges here. So just think, because it's, you know, you might be walking outside of it. On the higher difficulties, they will make these things harder to find. And just switch back over your weapon as you need to. Ooh, we got a ping. There we go. Boom. Now, my turret ran out of time, because turrets do have a time frame on them. But we did that. All we have to do is the extract point now. But that's what the ordnance disposal looks like. Grab this sample, just to show a sample. Surprised that shot didn't take him out on the first one. We're just going straight up. Okay. Just going to jump over that building. And here's why we're doing it this way. So the music kicks in. A lot heavier. Mother. There we go. The music kicks in a lot heavier when the enemies start to swarm. If you can just get away from them, they will despawn. Now, this works a lot better when you have cardio accelerator, because you can just get out across the map. Also, one of the things I like to do if we get swarmed and I want characters to despawn, I'll throw a static field and then just run in the opposite direction, so that anything that gets caught in the static field is usually hidden down somewhere. I'll try to go through like a corridor or a natural form bridge on the map, drop a static field, and just keep going. Because sometimes it's not worth the fight. It's better to just run and come back to a mission, or an objective within a mission. So having that static field, that's another good strategy move. It also slows down the time that the luminates. Maybe I should use a turret. Oh, I totally forgot what I was just saying. Oh, the stasis fields. Those will also slow down the time that... See, now it's caught there. It slows down the time that it'll actually react. Ooh. Sneak around it and kill it. Let that handle that. I'm going to back up slowly. And the Bunker Buster also has an incredibly quick cooldown time. Which for some of these easier levels, when you just need that one shot real quick just to calm down and wham on the enemy, it's really good to have. especially if you load 2 of them up on your loadout. That can be really effective for some of these easier levels. Alright, so that's everything. 3-starred that level, or that mission as well, so we're good. That gives us a planet completion. I'm going to pause right here while it's going through this, and I'll be right back when we get to the bridge. Alright, we are back at the bridge. So that was a level 3 Illuminate. Illuminates, again, in my opinion, they're the easiest out of all 3 of the species, but you have to maintain patrol control. In the higher levels, they have what are called IFVs, or Illuminate Floating Vehicles. Those are the tank levels, basically, or the general levels for the difficulties, and you do not want them to swarm on you. That gets really difficult in the hard and insanely hard levels. So, last but not least for this video, episode 3, we're going to jump over into the cyborg section. Now, the game will tell you that bugs are the hardest. Excuse me. That the bugs are actually the most difficult species to fight. I disagree. I think the cyborgs are. They're more heavily armored for even the general patrols. Once you get to the higher levels, the tanks are more prone to stay around, and they have mobility, and they have a turret on top, because it's actually like what you imagine as a tank when you think traditional, military warfare. Ooh, what am I doing? We're playing a level 3. I'm getting way ahead of myself. All right, so this is going to be similar to the last ones. We'll see some good cyborg play, but basically, same things. We're going to do a capture the flag. We have a box retrieval. This one, we have a surface-to-air missile, or a SAM site. So that'll be a little bit different from the last one. So we're going to start off with mission 1. Now,
Launch sequence initiated.
the
Crew
good,
to stations.
the
I
good.
repeat, crew to stations.
Thank you for interrupting me, game. Maybe it was I who interrupted you. My apologies. My humblest apologies. So, same thing, we're going to select a different drop zone that is away from our objectives down here, but we are going to run and gun through this one as well. Start off in the corner. We're going to confirm that. Actually, yeah, we're going to stick with that. One of the best things about playing early on is that you can utilize a lot of the same strategies. I'm not going to do anything differently than this one, partly because these are options that are available when you're newer to the game as well. So I want people to see how they work. But there's some uniformity between them. You'll start to see some more differences when you get to the higher difficulties. But one of the good parallels for new players early on is that a lot of the stuff that is effective on bugs is also going to be effective against cyborgs. So stasis fields, turrets, jump packs to get out of dodge, rockets, other heavy ordnance, you'll see a large correlation between those two. Illuminates are a bit different with the harder levels that you get. They're much more susceptible to heavy air artillery strikes, such as the strafing runs. So newbies, pay attention to that. Strafing runs and what is the other one? Strafing runs and the fire strafe. There's basically like a fire strip that gets laid down. Those are super effective against Illuminates. Bear that in mind. Again, we're going to pause here while this loads up. I will be right back with you. All right, we are dropping in. And again, we're just going to start recalling in my backpacks.
Stand by. Equipment
Check my
on
map.
its way.
I don't see any patrols in the area. Grab my backpack. Grab the other backpack and switch it out. And we're going to zoom in on the map here so you can see it better. All I'm going to do is run right down, straight along the edge, hit the SAM site, and then whoosh right down to the capture area. So I've already looked at my map. I know where I'm going. Down. And then straight across. At least one of the plus sides for me in this is that I do not have to worry about samples at this point. so I'm not checking into every corner and crevice. But again, you can also bring the... There we go. Those cyborg patrols. See these guys? They will sound off the alarms on you. We're going to leave that other guy there. Is it really that only that one site? And then you have the dogs. Now, the dogs don't sound off an alarm per se, but they send out a signal to let these guys know, come to my location. That's worse when you start getting into tanks. So we're going to let them sound off real quick on me. Now, see, it's that guy right there. They will sound off the alarm. These guys have flamethrower arms. Yeah, we don't like them. These guys have rifles. But your main concern when taking out patrols are going to be those guys with the red arm that raise it up and they're like, ah, and then they shoot off that red rocket. These guys, they just come at you with guns. These guys just come at you with flamethrowers. If you get hit with the flamethrower and you're on fire, either jump, hit square. I'm not sure what the control is on an Xbox controller, but basically you either want to dive or you want to jump if you have your jetpack. That will get you not on fire quickly, which is good. Alright, so we're going to throw a stasis field down. We're going to throw a turret right up on the edge of it. And then I'm going to keep my back to this wall, because then if the turret fire crosses over anywhere around here, I won't get hit by it. See, that went super quick. Let the turret do its job. That's how you play to a turret. Now I'm going to get out of here and let the turret mow down everybody else. Sneak right around them. That's the thing. Again, stealth in this game. That patrol right there, they weren't even worth messing around with. I'm going to avoid some of these other ones coming down here. I just brought my track out a little bit. A little bit farther. See, jump packs. They're super useful. Take those guys out. And as you notice with these formations with the cyborg patrols, they'll usually have 2 or 3 of the regular armed guys. Ooh, a sample. Oh. And they will be in front of him specifically for that purpose, so that they can sound off the alarm to call in more patrols. But the Trident, as you can see, it's very short work of things on the lower levels. Even on the medium range levels, the Trident is super effective.
Defensive stratagem incoming.
We're gonna get that over there, and
Drop incoming. Supplies incoming.
okay, so to critique and criticize my own self, when I first dropped in, that's when I should have actually called my metal detector in, because then I wouldn't be waiting an additional 7 or 8 seconds. For that to drop down. Grab that ammo.
Defensive equipment inbound.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Boom, there we go. Punch in the code real quick. And again, doing the spin maneuver with your joystick, that will help you identify where they are. And then once you get that ping, you start just sweeping back and forth. And if you got the vibration option on, your controller will vibrate the closer that you get to it as well. Just gonna spin, and you know when you do that full spin, basically just cover that whole area. We're gonna get out of dodge here, so I can switch over to my weapon. Can't believe he sounded off. That's fine. That's fine though. We're just gonna go right over here by my turret and let that do the work. Ah, you see, and that's what happens when your turret shoots you. You get knocked down. So again, that's why you kind of want to try to play to the back of it, or at least control things over here so nothing comes up and crosses the turret's line of fire with you. Alright, so that's complete. All we have left is the extract point, which is up here in the very top. So to get to that, again, we're just going to cut right along the edge, because it's basically almost a beeline. A little bit of a zigzag, but almost a beeline. And then again, this whole side here, it's a mountain. I don't have to worry about anything on that side. There we go. So samples, much like the bug samples, you can see it's kind of that jagged glowing shape right there where I'm shooting at. Those look just the same as in the bug levels. The illuminates are the only ones that are different. So we got to the call-in with no problem. Oop.
Extraction confirmed. Shuttle inbound.
Check my map.
T minus 1 minute 30 seconds. Defense drop incoming.
Here's another good strategy. If you have a beacon right here, this beacon, it's not going anywhere. It's part of the game. Put your turret up to the side of that, and then play to the other side of the beacon. And that way, you don't hit your turret, and your turret doesn't hit you. And you can just stay here. Throw my static field out. Back up a little bit. I got a little bit more range. Just because I got a lot of them, we'll throw a bunker buster for fun. But we're going to let the turret do most of the work. See? Protected. Turret doesn't hurt me. I don't hurt the turret. Prepping that over a little bit. Now, if my turret's still here when the plane lands, it's going to destroy the turret. And me, if I don't get out of the way. But that's all good. Now, here's where I screwed up a little bit. Takes a little bit when you got that sticky trap down there. I've never seen that before. Okay, that was awesome. I'm glad I got that on video. I've seen things run into it and through, but I've never seen something stay inside of it and get pulled up with the launch. I guess we're going to be taking that to research and development. A little bit of R&D present right there. It's the best sample I've ever collected. But that was those were the cyborgs, so not too bad on the first levels. Level 3s are actually pretty easy for them. We've already hit an hour here, so we're going to finish up this last mission real quick.
Launch sequence initiated.
And again,
Crew to stations.
we're going to run the
Crew to stations.
exact same strategy, except I'm going to be very bold this time
Commencing mission.
for the sake of time and drop right in on top of the black box and run it up to the house. So we're going to pause here while it's loading, and I will be right back with you. All right, dropping in. And as you can hear, patrols as soon as I came in. Now, this is manageable on the lower levels. All right, we're looking good. Scoop that up. And when you pull up your map again, we're going to zoom in here. See that a bit better? It's going to give you a direct line to where the base is so that you can beeline it. I'm going to let those guys go around. Ooh, a sample. See, sometimes evasion and stealth tactics are the better way to go, as opposed to just trying to shoot everything up. Oh, speaking of shooting everything up, so we're going to leave that there. That's alright. I'm just going to slow-mo through everybody. Not rush, take my time. Pace my shots and introduce these fools to democracy. There we go. Check my map. Alright. Yeah. Oosh. I'm just kind of having fun right now, sorry. There we go. And as you can see, handgun ammo, you run through that pretty quick. If it... Oh, there we go. That's helpful. A lot of times, over by the Helldivers objectives, you will find ammunition, which is good. I didn't even need to reload that one, but may as well. Alright, so that was that. We're not even going to mess with those guys either. We're going to jump right over them. Now, I like to capture areas here because you got 1, 2, 3, 4 things blocking you off here. Or 4 natural structures that provide you with cover. Oh, here, I'm gonna let them come in so I can show everybody. Pretend like we haven't captured this yet. This is how effectively one person can manage. All you just have to do is move around, be quick with your stratagems. Nobody can really get to me from this section. I'm here and here. Boom. Got all these choke points. But that's how you effectively manage some of these defense areas and capture areas. Use any of your defensive stratagems to kind of circle yourself in around the objective and keep enemies out. And then just maintain patrols. That's the biggest thing. Alright, so we have the extract now. We're just going to haul tail down to the extract point, punch this one out, and that will be the end of today's video. Boom. Patrol control. I cannot emphasize that enough. And the dogs, people freak out about the dogs getting close. Look at that. As soon as I get up on you. Man, look. Right in the face. No contest.
Defensive stratagem incoming. Deploying defensive assets. T-1 minute.
And we're going to do the same thing as last extract. See, we got my stasis field out there. Gives my turret some cover. I'm going to play to the other side. That way, I can't hit my turret, and my turret cannot hit me. Ooh. Come help my turret out and be a friend.
Hold out. T-30 seconds. Defensive equipment inbound.
Check my map to see who's coming from where. Let the turret do its work. Assist.
10 seconds.
And you see how easy that is for one person
5 seconds.
to just manage an area.
Shuttle arriving.
Get out of the way here. No. Oh no! Oh no! I can't believe that didn't kill me.
Shuttle leaving.
I thought the turret was gonna get crushed by the plane. I was wrong. And then it shot me. But regardless, I still got that bunker buster out and took them down. So that was a cyborg mission. We just got in there and had some fun with that. Hopefully you got to learn a few things. And I believe, boom, 3-starred this one too. So looking good here. Planet conquered, easy peasy. But overall, this should just give you a basis in how gameplay works. Again, play around with the different stratagems that you have, the different base weapons, find what you are comfortable with, and focus on that. Also, don't be scared to jump into some public games even while you're still learning this part. That's how you see other people's strategy. That's how you learn and have fun. But other than that, that's all for today's video. We've almost hit an hour and 10 minutes here. I appreciate everybody for sticking around. Shinobi13, thank you as always, little avatar dude. Yeah. And other than that, we will be back with episode 4. That'll cover levels 4 through 6. But again, we're going to do all the level 6 difficulties for each species. We're just going to run one mission within a planet, though, for time's sake, because those take a bit longer. But other than that, everybody, have a safe and happy weekend. Enjoy the holiday, mask up, treat each other well, and let's have a good time gaming. Take care.